Namaskar, I am Soma Senroy from India Meteorological Department and I will be discussing the weekly weather during the last 1 week, which is 20th to 26th of January 2022, as well as outlook for the next 2 weeks. If we see the significant weather features during the 20th to 26th January week, we note that the rainfalls have significantly decreased over South Peninsular India, and we have concluded that northeast monsoon rains have ceased with effect from 22nd of January 22 over South Peninsular India. This is a picture satellite imagery at 3 UTC of the same date. As you can see, Peninsular India is clear and subsequently only isolated rainfall has been realized there. The other feature that we have noted is two consecutive western disturbances. The first during 20th to 21st of January, and the subsequent one which moved very fast. And basically, the associated the trough positions are given by green V-shaped arrows, whereas the the surface circulation, it was given by this red circle. It merged with the first western disturbance and it intensified over the North Pakistan region, and the induced cyclonic circulation was in the form of a induced low pressure area. It moved very slowly subsequently. Initially, its movement was around 10 to 15 degrees a day, but afterwards it moved much slowly and it is now affecting the northeast Indian region. If we see the rainfall associated with this particular set of two western disturbances, like I said, over peninsular India it is cleared, but over North India also, despite the intense nature of the western disturbance, you will note that the 20 to 40 millimeter per day rainfall was realized only over the hills and adjoining parts of the plains of North Punjab, North Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh. If we see the actual heavy rainfall as per IMD criterion, which is 6.5 centimeter and above, it was realized over Jammu and Kashmir on 22nd and Himachal Pradesh, like I said, and 23rd, the whole thing was further to the east over East Uttar Pradesh and West Uttar Pradesh and Himachal Pradesh. So, if we are saying that it was such an intense western disturbance, why did it not have so much effect in rain? It did have, compared to what is expected during this season, the rainfall was abnormally high. So, Northwest India, if you can see, the weekly rainfall is 109% of its expected normal value. The seasonal rainfall over Northwest India is 200% as of 26 January 2022. And same way, Central India, of course, it did not see much rainfall during this week, but with the last week's rainfall, it has gone up, shot up to 279%. So, although these values, these in percentages seem very high, in actual values, if you note, only 18 millimeter on an average was recorded over Northwest India during this last 1 week. Even so, this rainfall has broken records. For Delhi, for example, as of 23rd January, when the second western disturbance affected and its influence was seen over Northwest India, it moved away subsequently. But as of 23rd January, Delhi recorded the wettest January since 1901. So we have already reached a record value due to these two western disturbances. But rainfall was not the only phenomenon that occurred in association with these two western disturbances. These are fog enhancement applied on the INSAT 3DR satellite imagery. You will note that after 20th, on 21st, the fog intensity had decreased. 22nd, it had further decreased due to the two systems coming in. But 23rd, it increased again. And subsequently, 25th and 26th, it is confined mostly to the foothills of the Himalayas and over eastern Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Odisha. This is exactly what is revealed in the ground figures. That means up to 22nd of January, it had decreased after as the first system stopped affecting and the second system started to affect, and the fog layer, which signifies stability, decreased due to weather coming over this region. It again started affecting the North Indian region from 23rd January as the western disturbances moved eastward, and then it decreased subsequently. But that was not the only thing that affected the Indian region. The figure on the top left, if you see, is the maximum temperatures. You will note that lower values of maximum temperature gradually penetrated southwards over the North Indian plains. So, what we really had was, due to very low wind speed at the surface, the fog which was supposed to be dissipated did not do so. It was lifted and it did not allow solar radiation to penetrate. So we had cold day conditions as the maximum temperature was lower than expected. At the same time, because there was no outgoing radiation, minimum temperature did not fall much. So we did not have much of cold wave conditions. So like I said, the cold day conditions, it decreased due to up to 22nd January when the two western disturbances were active over the northwest Indian region. Then subsequently they increased as the systems moved away, but the cloud cover remained in the form of low clouds. But again, if you see on 26th and 27th, you will note that with the strengthening of winds, the cold day spell has significantly decreased over the Indian region. Cold wave, if you consider, cold wave has not been very much. Like I said, this is a raised cloud cover. So fog raised itself and became a low cloud cover. So 25th and 26th, when this whole thing, when the wind started to strengthen and this low cloud layer was lifted and outgoing radiation was more, then we had cold wave to severe cold wave over firstly over central India, and 26th we had over more parts of northwest and central and west India. If we see the weather patterns for today, that the same western disturbance which we had seen earlier, the one which had given so much cold wave and cold day conditions and fog over northwest India, has moved eastwards. It now lies to the north of around 28 degrees north in the upper levels, whereas in the lower levels there are two systems. One is a north-south trough along 92 degrees east to the north of 21 degrees north, and another uh, trough in the easterlies from South Tamil Nadu to South Interior Karnataka, highlighted in yellow. So, if you see the winds, like I was just talking to you about, the cold day conditions have reduced, cold wave conditions have started to increase on account of the winds strengthening over the North Indian plains. This is removing the cloud cover, and for the next 2 or 3 days, we expect the temperatures to fall. So, rainfall, if you see, there will be two western disturbances in future in this coming 2 weeks. First week we'll have two western disturbances, 29 to 31st, and then again from 2nd to 4th. You will note that due to both of them, there will be light western disturbances, and only the mountainous regions will be northwest India will be affected by these two western disturbances. And in the second one will be slightly more, with isolated rainfall in the adjoining plains during 2nd to 4th February. Again, as I have shown that the movement of the westerly trough in the upper levels eastward, it is likely to give isolated to scattered rainfall over southern parts of northeast India, which is Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura, but more rainfall over or snowfall in over Arunachal Pradesh. This is again likely to increase with the fresh spell which is coming over on 29th to 31st over northwest India, is likely to go over Arunachal Pradesh on 31st to 1st February 2022. If we see the temperature forecast, like I said, the winds have strengthened in the lower levels over northwest India. So minimum temperatures are below normal over most parts of northwest, central, and adjoining East India. There will be no significant change. Already temperatures have fallen, so no further significant change in minimum temperature over northwest India during first half of the week. And as the winds weaken over the North Indian plains, it will rise gradually. But over East India, where the western disturbance is now moving away, the minimum temperature is likely to fall by 2 to 4 degrees Celsius. So, and then there will not be much change thereafter. If we see the weather warnings, like I said, that there will not be much change in the minimum temperatures over northwest India. So the cold wave conditions which are there will persist for the next 2 to 3 days before ceasing as the temperature starts to rise. Whereas over East India, as signified by Odisha, will be getting cold wave conditions during 28th to 30th January 2022. The cold day conditions is likely to decrease. Cold day conditions only at isolated pockets over northwest India will persist during next 24 hours and decrease further during the next 2 days. Dense fog is likely to continue over the North Indian plains and as well as northeast India during the next 48 hours. These are the weather warnings for the next 5 days, detailed subdivision wise warnings. As you can note, IMD is issuing warnings mostly for the cold wave and cold day conditions. The severity will be more over central and central India, which is signified by East Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and East Uttar Pradesh, whereas it will be lighter, less severe for other regions. Overall, there will be a decreasing trend in the harshness of the weather. If we see the week 2 rainfall, we expect light to moderate rainfall, not much rainfall activity throughout the country, but it is likely to be normal over most parts of North India, Central India, East India, as well as West India, and South India too. So, precipitation, not much is expected during week 2. If we see the minimum temperature, it can be seen that, like I talked to you about, the amelioration of the severe low temperatures over the Indian region will happen from week 2. So maximum temperature also is likely to be slightly lower than normal. So again, cold day conditions are again likely to recur, but we will not get significant cold wave conditions anywhere over the country. Significant meaning it can happen in isolated pockets. It is not totally removed. Whereas cold day conditions can continue for some days over northwest and central India during some days of the week as the maximum temperatures are below normal. That is all. Please visit and download our apps. Day to day, the weather forecasts are updated. Thank you.